Welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel. It's time to tear into the suspension and get these springs put in. Now, I've never done this kind of job before. I've never messed with springs and shocks on a street car. So this is going to be a little bit of a learning experience. I think I know what to do, but we'll find out. I've got everything here ready to go. I'm going to put these good old stock springs back into it, make it legal, and then we'll be one big step closer to getting on the track. The other thing I need to fix while I'm in here is this insane amount of camber in the left front. There is no way that's going to fly when I get to the track. Rules here say 1 inch. This looks like a whole ruler's worth. So I'm going to have to get in there, see what they did to that strut, and then maybe replace it with just a stock one, because I don't know what I'm going to find when I take this wheel off. Just as a comparison, here's the spring I just pulled out of the right front, and here is a stock replacement front spring. I don't know about you guys, but that looks like a pretty obvious difference to me, so I'm gonna just assume I would have got busted with this little spring in there. So it's a good thing we're doing this. Just as I suspected, we got some Redneck Engineering in here. First of all, we got a tiny little spring held on by a zip tie so it doesn't slide around in there, because it doesn't at all fit in the holder. And next, we've got some washers that were welded on to the top mounting point, so it kicks the top of the tire out and gives it that crazy camber. So luckily I've got a couple of extra struts, because this one's gonna need it, because that is just not gonna work for what I need to do. This piece right here is what's supposed to hold the stock spring in place, and it's supposed to fit perfectly around it. That's pretty obvious that that's not even close. This isn't really even doing hardly anything in here. Look at all that movement. Normally this top nut is the one you would never want to loosen with a spring in there, but considering there's no spring pressure even in there, it's totally safe to do it. So once I get it back on, that will be a spring that I won't touch. But right now, since there's nothing on there, I'm going to do this the easy way. Just take it off, cut this zip tie, compress the other spring, put it on, and put it back in the car. There we go. There's the comparison of the left front springs. Same thing. Totally ridiculously different. It's going to be like putting a lift kit on this car. This is what the rear looks like. It's a little bit rusty, but it's got like half of the shaft left before you even hit the spring. So good thing I got extra tall stock ones I'm going to put right in. When I pulled the rear struts off, this was the mount I got off the top. It is destroyed, it is rusty, it's been cut, it didn't fit because it's all bent. I don't know how it was holding the spring on. It actually wasn't even as wide as the spring, so it was super dangerous. This is what it's supposed to look like. Here's the side by side. This is what's going back in the car. Luckily, my buddy down the road who gave me the struts had even more parts for me. I've had to go visit him 3 times this week, but it's helping a lot. I'm gonna put the good parts back on. Hopefully it will be solid and we'll be able to finish this job up. This is what I pulled out of the right rear. Little race spring inside a big old stock strut, and just an absolutely demolished strut mount. So I'm really glad I got all these old beat up rusty pieces out and got some new pieces in. This is what I put in. Look at the difference in that. Finally, a week and a half later, it's done. The car is back on the ground. It starts, it steers. That was a little more of a project than I anticipated, between finding all these old rusty parts and things that didn't fit, having to go to my parts guy like 3 times, I think. I didn't quite realize I was signing up for that big of a chore, but it's done. We are almost ready for the track. I've got these stickers here, numbers, names, everything else all ready to go. That'll be the next video, but until then, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.